Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to RAS Group. So my previous video and posting and blog posts, all that stuff was about the specifics of my holster setup, right? So now I want to talk about something just kind of, this is like a little bit of a pet peeve because I keep seeing people do it wrong. And we're going to talk about thigh straps, right? So first off, I apologize for the dirty workbench. My workbench is dirty because I actually do work on it, and I didn't feel like cleaning it all off just to make what would be like a 5 to 8 minute video. So let's dive into it. So first off, thigh straps are nothing new, right? They've been around since as early as the 1860s in modern American society, and I say that like relatively, like in the grand scheme of all time. Famous photos of notable cowboys from the Wild Wild West using pieces of cordage to secure the bottom of their holster to their upper leg to minimize holster movement, right? And it's actually for reasons pretty similar to what we see today as far as like movement, consistency of placement, consistency of draw, stuff like that. So thigh straps are nothing new, been around for a very, very, very long time. The whole purpose of the thigh strap is if I have my holster, right, and this is an experimental setup with the SRC4 from Great Fighter Gear. So if I have my holster and I secure it to, if I secure it to line up, come on, thank you. I secure it to my holster hanger, right? Ideally, I know one fixed point is going to be right here where this holster hanger is engaging at, right, on the belt line. The purpose of adding the second point down here towards the bottom of the holster hanger is I am now fixing this to 2 points on a line, right? So I know we've all experienced it, at least I have, I'm not too proud to admit it, is when I draw without a thigh strap, if it's not a perfect draw or my angle is slightly off, or maybe I'm running a suppressor height front sight pose and it's a relatively new holster, you're going to get some sort of holster snag. Well, when that happens, the holster has a tendency to want to bow out from your hip line as such. If you add in the thigh strap, you add some counter resistance to this, you know, what the holster naturally wants to do with bowing out from the hip, and therefore you can kind of overpower that impulse of the holster, successfully complete the draw, because there are no mulligans in real life, and I am a firm believer in training through hiccups on the range, right? If you just stop and restart every time you have a hiccup, you're going to have issues. There is a time and place to like not complete a bad rep and work through bad habits. Overall though, work through issues as they come up. Don't just say, oh shit, sorry, and restart. So that is the point of a thigh strap, right? And it's, like I said, nothing new. It's been around for a very, very long time. Couple things I see people doing that I don't really agree with, and you can, you know, tell me to pound salt, you can thumbs down the video, you can do whatever you want. But let me get this holster off so we can have a better look at this. There we go. So a couple things I see people do is they want to attach the holster directly, or the thigh strap directly to the mounting solution on the back side of the holster. Now, a couple issues I have with this. So if you have one of these QLF systems or a quick change system, and you go through holsters or different guns, if you remove the holster, you'd essentially be removing the thigh strap, and you'd have to be adding a thigh strap to every single compatible holster you plan to use on your rig, right? Kind of not the most cost-effective way of doing things. If you got it like that, you know, don't listen to me until you hear my next few points, but so be it. Also, having the thigh strap attached directly to the holster adapter, right here, right, down at the bottom, means that since this holster hanger is on this kind of plane, right, it's on the belt line, if I can attach my thigh strap directly below that, it's creating a consistency in the holster so that I'm not having like an awkward bow out of the holster or the thigh strap trying to bow it out. So if this is level, right, with the holster on my belt as it is, and I attach it to the holster, now I might have a slight like this out away from my body, which for some people might not be the end of the world, but I really like consistency, and I really like my holster to have a consistent kind of, I guess, placement and angle to it each and every time. I believe consistency is, you know, the recipe for life if variety is the spice. So something I say pretty often in our classes. So that's one thing I see people doing, is we're not really sure how to affix the thigh strap to their rig at all. And like I said, if you directly attach your holster to this and you don't have a QLS system, it kind of makes it a lot more simpler, right? You sandwich it between the holster hanger and the holster, and you're good to go. The other thing, and I see this a lot with people running True North MHAs, is MHA sells in a leg adapter kit that goes onto the backside here and mounts like up in here, down here, somewhere in this ballpark, right? I don't like that. To me, that adds another point of failure for the holster. And it also, I'm sorry, for the whole holster setup in general, not the holster itself. Details matter. Adds another point of failure, and it also puts the thigh strap a little bit too low, right? And mine is kind of bordering that bridge of like slightly maybe too low, but still works. Ideally, I would want to try to have this mounted a little bit further up behind the plate, which I might experiment with a little bit, because a thigh strap isn't actually meant to, and I mean, this is hyper specific, but I find this to be the best policy. Thigh straps aren't meant to go perfectly like around the thigh in like a perpendicular fashion, right? They actually are supposed to be, if you want to wear them properly and as tight as possible, you want to get it kind of into the crevice of your pelvis and your hip line, and it's going to feel kind of uncomfortable at first. It's going to look a little goofy at first, right? Because you're kind of just like, I don't know, isolating an ass cheek and then like accentuating it. But it works, right? That's what actually keeps it secure. And to do that, you want to make sure that the thigh strap is bordering uncomfortable tight in that area, for the sheer fact that if it's loose, it's not gonna have that counter pressure to that bad draw that we were talking about before. It's just gonna kind of let it go and then kind of suck back and then snap back to you. There is a proper way to wear a thigh strap. It 100% matters. I don't think people give it the time that it really deserves, at least a lot of newer shooters. I even see some experienced shooters that I think got into thigh straps based on the cool guy factor, and they never really took the time to understand, like, how should I wear this? Where should I place it? What should it be attached to? And they don't even understand the history that leads up to the donning of a thigh strap. So kind of a short video, but I think this is kind of important because I see a lot of people unsure about how to do this type of thing. If you have questions, reach out to me. I run it on all my kits. I've even run it on my work rig for a long time, which will unfortunately probably be changing because I finally got busted. But that being said, you guys should 100% take the time to understand why you're doing what you're doing, why you have the pieces of kit on your kit that you do, and you know, just overall have a better understanding, because that just breeds better knowledge, better intellect. Guys, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I know it's a little wordy, chatty Cathy, not super high speed, but I believe it's important. So you guys stay safe, stay trained, stay rad, and I'll be back with the next one.